Last night, the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Baltimore Ravens 27-20, and was a really great game to start the season. Last year, most of the Thursday night games were bad. The only good one we had was the Cowboys and Seahawks, and I think that was Week 15 of last year. But last night, to start off the season, the Ravens and Chiefs had a really good game. Lamar, he threw 26 of 41, had 273 yards and a touchdown. He also fumbled. Uh, Derrick Henry only had 13 carries for 46 yards, had a touchdown early in the game. Isaiah Likely had the best game of his career, 9 catches, 111 yards, and a touchdown. And towards the end, he didn't get it by a foot. So foot would have been back a little bit. He would have been able to get that touchdown, and the Ravens could have won for 2 to win it. Mark Andrews wasn't much of a factor. He only had 2 catches for 14 yards, but most of the game he was playing a left tackle because the offensive line, it didn't look great last night. It's just week 1, so it's just some slight criticism for both teams. But for the Ravens, the offensive line didn't look good at all. Lamar had to run way too much. Lamar had 16 carries, 422 yards. I say probably half of those were design runs. The other half, he just had to avoid getting sacked. And they were the reason that he had that fumble earlier in the game, which they did come back to hunt him in the end. Yeah, the offensive line didn't look good at all. And if that could be a problem all year. Justin Tucker, he made 2 field goals out of 3. The one that he missed was a 50-yarder. He wasn't great from 50-plus yards last year. And it wouldn't have mattered in the end because they lost by a touchdown. Yeah. Then moving on to the Chiefs side of it, Mahomes was 20 of 28, 291 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Mahomes had a really good game. Pacheco, he had 15 carries for 45 yards and a touchdown. Pacheco looked faster from what I saw yesterday, but yeah, still a solid game. Didn't do a lot. Travis Kelce only had 3 catches for 34 yards. He wasn't much of a factor in this game. But shout out to Xavier Worthy. He had a really good debut game. He had 1 carry for 21 yards that went for a touchdown. Had 2 catches for 47 yards, and one of those were a touchdown. So he had 2 touchdowns, and it seems like the Chiefs once again have the fastest guy in the league, or one of the fastest. So he had a good debut. Rasheed Rice had 7 catches for 103 yards. Had a really good game to start the season. Yeah, the Chiefs, they just played a good game overall. Back to the Ravens, the defense, especially the pass defense, it didn't look great. And like I said, it's week 1, so they got plenty of time to fix this. Still got 16 more games to go. But the Ravens' 2 biggest issues was the offensive line and the pass defense. On the pass defense, I think they can improve over the course of the season. The offensive line, I'm not too sure about. Also, the play calling wasn't great. They should have went to Henry more earlier in the game. They should have started off running the ball, but they didn't do that. They started off with the passing game, which they were able to get a touchdown on the first drive. And Derrick Henry was the one that got it. But if they would have utilized the run game more and got Henry more involved, they probably win this game because it was a lot. Lamar Jackson doesn't usually pass 41 times. That's not really his game to pass. He threw more than Mahomes did, and you don't really see that. Yeah, that's definitely one of the reasons they lost, not utilizing the run game when they should have. It was definitely some bad calls in this, especially in the first half. Multiple missed holes on the Chiefs. even had a face mask that they missed. Then there was a few offsetting penalties from both teams. But in the first half, it was bad. The Chiefs were clearly being favored by the refs in that first half. It was a lot more even in the second half. But then Spagnuolo, the Chiefs defensive coordinator, called the timeout in the fourth quarter, which that isn't allowed, but one of the refs gave it to him anyways. So that doesn't make sense how he was able to get that timeout call when only the head coach can call a timeout. But like I said, it was a really good game. I enjoyed this. Glad we started off the season with a good Thursday night football game. And then towards the end, Lamar, he missed a Likely and Zay Flowers wide open. It seemed like Likely had got injured on the first pass that he threw to him when they were down in the red zone. Luckily, he was okay, able to come back in and almost had the game-winning touchdown. I thought he was in, but his foot was on the line by an inch. But, yeah, that was a great game. The Ravens, they got the Raiders next week. They should be able to win that game. The Raiders defense, I think it'll still be good, but that's not a game they should lose. And the Chiefs, they play the Bengals next week, so that could be a competitive game just like this one. But that's it for this video. Make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts on the Ravens-Chiefs games from last night.